I believe Republic Records was trying to use Taylor Swift and her influence over Olivia Rodrigo to get her to come over to their label and leave Geffen. Because having Olivia's numbers over at Republic would really help them out. Especially when you look at some of the roster that they have. A lot of them are not new and fresh artists anymore. And they're having to constantly cultivate new artists. And it's getting harder and harder. And a lot of artists, they also don't want to sign with big labels. And we'll get into the weirdness over at Universal, because there is weirdness. We know.
You know what I was thinking about, huh? Vampires.
This is a public service announcement.
Problem solving is something that schools generally don't teach you.
No, I'm not on medication. I'm on weed though, and I feel hella good.
Well, we're back. We made it through the first episode. We're going to make it through the second. So to get some places, we need to lay a foundation. Been on the phone again, and we need to move through this father figure song that Taylor Swift recorded on Life of a Showgirl. Because as I pointed out in the last episode, I got questions, and we need answers. UMG, Universal Music Group. This is going to play heavily into the next few episodes that we're going to talk about. And in order to get into those things and to get into the deeper esoteric things, I need you to understand the normal, everyday, run-of-the-mill things first. Because it's going to make a lot more sense when you see these things that you normally see, like Joe Rogan or some conspiracy AI channel late at night talking about, and you're like, okay, that's crazy. That's not true, right? But if you had the foundation laid out for you, you might understand what's going on a little bit better. What am I talking about? Let's get into it. Olivia Rodrigo. Driver's License. Now, that was her song that pretty much launched her music career. She's had a career in the entertainment business since 2016. She's basically been doing this since she was a child. Now, 2016, she was cast as Paige on the Disney Channel in Bizaardvark, which Alicia Marie was in that.
Yo! That's me. What? No, that's not me. That's me.
I've talked about her on my channel. Yeah, she did a cameo in that. But anyways, so she did Bizaardvark. After Bizaardvark, she went on to do the High School Musical reboot thing that they did. And then she moved into her working on her music career. And at this time, this is when we heard about the drama with Sabrina Carpenter and Joshua Bassett, right? We go through 2020. We all made it through 2020, right? So we get to January of 2021. Boom! Driver's License comes out, right? Now, the other thing about Olivia Rodrigo, that if you're not someone who follows any of this stuff, you didn't know, Olivia Rodrigo grew up a Swiftie. She's a Swiftie.
Biggest Swiftie ever, and I never stopped talking about it. Picture to Burn was like my first favorite song. I'd love to write a song with Taylor.
Now we got bad love.
What is it?
Okay, but Bad Blood is iconic.
She grew up a Swiftie. She was inspired to want to be a singer because of Taylor Swift. She is one of those kids who grew up listening to Taylor Swift's music. So literally her idol. So around the time Driver's License comes out, Taylor Swift starts reaching out to Olivia.
Obviously, she commented on my Instagram post and it made a big splash. It was insane. I am the biggest Swiftie in the whole world. And the fact that she did that was just so insane. That truly just made my life.
So I got a letter from Taylor Swift last night, which was insane.
Last night?
Yeah, last night I like opened it for the first time, so I'm still like reeling.
I was gonna say, are you on it now?
Sorry?
Are your tears like staining the note?
Literally my tears are on it. My like snot from like sobbing my eyes out are on it.
You gotta laminate
incredible.
It before it gets ruined.
And I love her, and yeah, I just adore her, and that's what I've literally been thinking about since I opened that thing last night. Just the only thing in my brain. So folklore, it's my tears ricochet.
Taylor Swift is reaching out to her like a mentor. Sending her gifts, sent her a ring, some ring that Taylor Swift wore during one of her albums, and gave it to her like, we're going to have this special connection because I gave you something that looks similar to something I had at the beginning of my career, and we're going to connect. Now, I want to point out this. There's a 13-year age gap between Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo. I get it. They're adult women. They're colleagues. But I just want you to remember that for what we're going to set up next. So summer 2021 rolls around, and after doing a couple interviews, Olivia Rodrigo says that there was a part of the song that she did that was slightly inspired by Cruel Summer. Now, this song is Deja Vu, and she said that there was something with Deja Vu, and there was a part in the song that was inspired. Now, a lot of people online say that they don't feel like that this is similar enough to meet the bar for copyright, but for whatever reason, working out legal stuff with the labels, Taylor Swift took 50% of the royalties along with John Antonoff and St. Vincent, another co-writer on it. Now, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand how competitive these labels are, even when they're under the same umbrella company. So Taylor Swift is signed to Republic, and Olivia is signed to Geffen. Now, Olivia signed with Geffen around the time Driver's License came out. That I can't find exactly when she signed with them, okay? But around the time she's signing or looking into signing a deal with Geffen, this is when Taylor Swift starts sending her gifts and things. In talking on the phone with my mentor, we kind of feel as if that maybe Taylor Swift was trying to get Olivia to come over to Republic. Now, a lot of people don't understand. They're going to be like, why would they do that? They're both under UMG. Why would they do that? Well, these labels are actually really competitive under UMG. They're competitive for getting money and like budgets from Universal for their A&R, for their artists. I did a lot of research, and Taylor Swift, I found a lot of clips of the two brothers that run Republic, and they basically love to say that they work for Taylor Swift. She doesn't work for them. And you can tell they really love her because she helped them get promotions. One of them actually got a promotion from Republic Records over to UMG. The other thing is that these labels will compete for awards, not just like bonuses, but they will compete for awards. And consistently, Republic is always winning Label of the Year from Billboard. And consistently, they love to thank Taylor Swift. So I do believe that over the years that part of the way Taylor Swift has moved and been able to level up her career, so to speak, is by her influence over people. Like, when I was actually researching Republic and how she came over to Republic and how much they loved her, and yes, she had a lot of pull when she came over to Republic, and I believe, I'll put it on the screen here so I don't get it wrong. She had a lot of pull. She had a lot of star power. I believe Republic Records was trying to use Taylor Swift and her influence over Olivia Rodrigo to get her to come over to their label and leave Geffen. Because having Olivia's numbers over at Republic would really help them out. Especially when you look at some of the roster that they have, a lot of them are not new and fresh artists anymore. And they're having to constantly cultivate new artists. And it's getting harder and harder. And a lot of artists, they also don't want to sign with big labels. And we'll get into the weirdness over at Universal, because there is weirdness. We know, you've been around, I've told you that my fiance's family, now it was the movie side of Universal, but we're aware of what's going on, okay? And yes, Vampire, that song, after talking for like an hour with my mentor, we're pretty sure that is about Taylor Swift.
You know what I was thinking about, huh? Vampires.
Yeah. We're going to talk about vampires. We're going to talk about werewolves. These are the kind of things we're going to get into. And that's why I like to tell you guys, if at any point there's too much for you and you're like, this is some crazy down the rabbit hole stuff, I can't do it, you're welcome to bow out. But for some people, this is a reality. Vampires, you know, we watch Twilight and we think, oh, that's funny, he. But there is a version of the Volturi family, and they're not vampires in the classic movie sense, but when you talk about what they're actually doing, you're like, wait a minute. You're a fucking vampire. What? I thought you said you were this religion. You're not actually this religion at all. You're actually a vampire. Sounds crazy now, but that's why we need to wade into this slowly. So I thought we would start with Olivia Rodrigo and maybe the reason why Taylor Swift took 50% of the royalties from her song Deja Vu. I know, it is still a crappy thing. We should not let money and the powers above us control us in a way that's going to hurt other people. But this is how the magic circle works. They put people like Taylor Swift into a position where they feel like they need to hurt somebody else to stay on top. And it's fucked up and not fair. And again, this is not an excuse. She was a grown woman. There was a 13-year age gap. She was an adult. But this is me trying to explain to you how people are put into certain positions and they feel the pressure to take advantage of somebody that they probably wouldn't have if they weren't in a structure such as Universal Music Group. So back to Taylor Swift's influence. So she has a heavy influence over her own label, and Universal Music Group in general. I do believe that a lot of the way she acts and moves is heavily influenced by her family. And we're going to get into her family as well. But we're going to have to talk about the structure and the people who run Universal. So in the next episode, we're going to talk about Republic Records. We're going to talk about the two men that run Republic Records. We're going to talk about how Republic Records became a part of UMG Music Group. We're going to talk about Sir Lucian Grange, and his life advice.
What is the one piece of advice that you would give to anybody who's looking to achieve anything close to the level of success that you've I think my response is going to be something very macro, and it's going to be marry well.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that's about. But raw. The people who work over here at these companies, we need to talk about them, and we need to talk about their families, and we need to talk about the people who are invested in UMG. And then once we lay out all the players, we can start in on the game. Are you ready for this game? I don't know if you're ready for this game. And like I said, if at any point any of this stuff starts to get too weird for you, you can totally bow out. I get it. Sometimes I wish I had bowed out a long time ago, but here I am doing the Lord's work. And you'll further know more about that later on. I'm not joking. So yeah. As always, remember, all these stars are yours because I gave them to you. We'll talk more about that as well. Yeah, and my mentor says hi. He hopes everybody's doing well. He's doing good as well. And he was happy with the reception on my last video. I got a B+. Maybe this one will be an A. Who knows? But I know. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Problem solving is something that schools generally don't teach you. You know, a lot of people don't have a good generalized approach to problem solving. They're not thorough, don't consider all the possibilities, prepare themselves with the right information. If you can develop a kind of generalized approach to problem solving, it's surprising how it helps you in anything.
I don't think. I know.
Every 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.